Pokemon, but you're trying to date Misty. Welcome to Misty Orange. We start the new game with this amazing background, and we begin with a quote from the original director of the Pokemon anime, saying how they like to switch up the girls, even though fans want Misty back. But never mind that. We get straight to Oak, and he's right in my face. He backs up and introduces himself as Professor Tree, and he's animated really nicely. He's our professor for our college course. He's asking me why I'm taking this class, and the choices are girls, 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 hot, sweaty chicks, or I like Pokemon. I chose the obvious answer, and of course, he introduces Misty, the leader of the water gym. After that's out of the way, he gets on with his normal spiel. This world is inhabited by magical creatures we call Pokemon, where he experiments on all of them. After he's done, we get sent straight to our room. This dark doomer basement, a whole Misty shrine covered in trash. All these cans are Misty branded energy drinks. I go to my game and check what's installed. It's an old Japanese dating sim. I decided to give it a go. And it's a game within a game, but I modded it to make the main girl look like my number one. She's technically a virus, but now she's the AI Misty, the machine in science technology. Yes, she wants me to put her in a Pokegear, and of course we cannot deny this. Now we can never escape her, and she exploded her home device, so we can't put her back in. We let it burn to a crisp, and went upstairs to get flashbanged by the fluorescent light up above. My mom is very upset that I've been in the basement, and demands I find a woman. Apparently, I ordered a bunch of Misty bathwater, but Mr. Mime got to my package first, and he's freaking out. We leave him be, and went outside. We saw the barf, and on the right, there was endless women in sight. Everyone gooning over Gary. I love you, Gary. I want to co-sign your love. Let me lick your toilet seat. I think Gary's alright. Like, on a scale of 1 to 10, he's an 8 at least. This guy outside said Misty docks Gary, so all the freak fangirls were constantly swarming him from across the region. We ignore all of that and just get to Oak's lab. We move forth and see her with our own eyes. Misty herself. She does a little dance, and we can't believe her eyes. But of course, it's just a fake. It's another girl who lives in this town, Duplica. She enrolled in this class after she was dumped by her boyfriend. But that's none of my business, and we move on with the class. Oak gets me started right away, and I can choose one of my Pokemon. The first one was the Grass Bellsprout. Best Pokemon in the game, but we move on to see the others. And it's a Charmander or a Magikarp. But we can also choose the lone lady herself. The last type Duplica obtained the girlfriend. After we swoop over a starter, Gary comes swarming in, stealing the Charmander, and challenging us with his big old muscles. Oak gave us the other two Pokemon. I don't know why he's so beefy. And Gary was gloating about how much better he was. But eventually, we started hallucinating, and these Misties came out. Now it's my permanent battle animation. But even with 2 against 1, we were not enough. He was way too strong for us. And in that show of strength, he stole our girlfriend, and he changed my name to Pooty. She ran off after him, and we left because we still gotta get Oak's parcel. But as we were leaving, some lady came out to switch our starters. She had some Clefairies, but as she was turning around to get them, we were booty bumped away. Anyway, she switched our Pokemon and made sure the others who went to a safe home. I actually wanted those. I'm sad about the Sprout, but we move on. Gary's mailbox is full of fans, and inside his house are life-size trophies and a bunch of sweaty underwear. Apparently all these are hers. His sister's upset that he's leaving her, and now with his new girlfriend, will he ever love me as more than a sister? She has a strange dilemma, but with that, she offers a solution. She wants to be my girlfriend to make her brother jealous. It's really weird, but I still say yes. Finally, we leave and walk out of our first city. And on the side, see this lady with her snake. It looks pretty sick, and she says it has pokey jaundice. She says she's sad, single, and can't save her pet all on her own. But I tell her I have a girlfriend because I got integrity. But she tells me boyfriends are like gardens, best when shared with community. As good as argument as ever, so I take her hand. Where now we have to find some kind of medicine. But before there's a bunch of these kids, we beat up all of them one by one, past the preschool, and finally went forward to the next town, where we found our ex posted up in front of the Poke Center, making a weird face, and she says she wants to get back with me. I tell her she's crazy, and I'm glad I did, because apparently that was a ditto. We ignore that, just get Oak's package, and instead of immediately delivering it, we try to see what else is around, but a bunch of these girls are blocking the next town. Bog is watching, because, you know, but this gang of girls is blocking the way. There's usually this old man there, but he's been kicked out, and the daughter that usually gives him coffee, just sitting there, alone. I try to wait out the crowd by playing Who's That Pokemon on our TV, and it said, maybe if you get enough of them right, you can impress that girl. But I get it wrong. I get it wrong again. I get it wrong again. She says I'm really bad at that, but I keep going, and I don't give up. She starts to get really annoyed, and she even tells me what it is one of these times, but she was wrong. Eventually, she gets really upset and leaves. I try to find her outside, but she's nowhere to be seen. I just get back to playing. Eventually, she comes back, but with a new boyfriend. She says she wasn't dating anyone before. I don't know what happened. They get really upset at me and kick me out. I lay there, face planted on the floor. We just get back to Oak. But before then, we actually try to open what's in his package, and we find it's Moo Moo milk. Here in our West Kanto region, Clefairy milk is what we're usually drinking, but this is straight from Whitney, and the cow puts me in a trance. I don't like what I'm looking at. After a little bit, I passed out, and I came back to a bunch of these school kids kicking me out. They locked the door behind them. This time, we ran straight to the professor, where we get a coffee and an A for the semester. Class has been dismissed, and it's time to really find Misty. We walk up and find one of the Elite Four, Agatha. We found out that Pokemon League is apparently out of business. No one is getting past the second gym. Misty. And it seems like that's where Gary's going because the girls have left. And this time, instead of them, it's the old man laying there. He demands a coffee. But I tell him I already have a girlfriend. The lab assistant comes by instead. We just walk around him. And we found a gym. But Gary's in there and it's full of people, so we're not allowed in. But other than the badge, this place has the medicine. He's got it on him. But the only way he'll let me get it is if we join Team Rocket. It's kind of insane when you actually pledge to an oath. You swear to be a very bad boy who does very bad things. You desire to be dirty, disgusting, and downright dastardly. Are you willing to sell rare candies to kids for the sake of profit? But once we were getting too far, our AI girlfriend stepped in. She was upset at what we were saying. She said what we were doing was bad, but it made us hot, so it was okay. But we were bamboozled because the girl that Ekans was in Team Rocket the whole time. Didn't actually have any disease. We were just painted in pee. Touched butts to rub it in. Nowhere else to go but Pewter, so we moved forth. And this old man was warning me of the maze ahead. As we walked up, it was May ahead. She was showing off her shorts and doing a little dance. She was upset about all the bugs biting her bareness. She wanted a boyfriend to do it instead. I guess I had no choice but to accept. But before we had to fight, I was not fit for it, and Misty in the background was not happy. And the music was hard to listen to. All the sounds were switched with horns. It was really something, but we couldn't win. We lost, and she went back in the grass. But she said a weedle went up her pants, and she freaked out. She flew out of sight. We had nothing more to do. We walked back to town to get healed up. Walk in to this rugged, run-down Poke Center. She said her name is Joy, the college intern here. And she forgot to ask if we have insurance, because our total bill was insanely high. But she was just kidding, and we get going. As we're walking out, she calls back to us. Sorry to bother you again. It's just that I'm kind of stuck at this desk all day, and no one ever comes in. Would you want to, just hang out for a bit? I mean, hang out as more than friends? How can I say no to this face? I obtained girlfriend Joy, and for the first time, she's out of her desk, and we're sitting together next to each other. And of course, as first dates are, she asked me how many babies I want. With the choices that we have, I go with the conservative number of 16, but she was not happy with that. She was expecting a lot more, and there was an awkward silence. It's kind of chilly in here. Do you want to maybe hold hands? Even though my hands are greasy, of course I say yes. She already has her mind set and the marriage planned for the future. But as a last question, to seal the deal, she asked me to read the Book of Mormon. Of course, I can't say no. And she starts crying, tears of joy. She can't stop crying. She just loves me so much. I don't know what to do, so I start playing on the computer. I've got an online AI girlfriend, but she's pretty upset at me now. She said I should try cheering her up, like telling her words of encouragement. But nothing I say or do makes a difference. She said I'm playing games with her heart and logs off. But she just loves me so much. I try to leave, but Nurse Joy reminds me, of course, she can't just walk out. She's an intern. Are you dumping me? Of course I say no. But I can't do anything. I'm stuck in here. I try to go again. She says, you know I can't leave the premises. I'll have to wander the streets homeless. I tell her I'm not leaving and to lock me in here forever. But she never stops crying. Eventually I can't take it and I make the leave official. All I wanted was to spend my life making you happy and having your babies. I can't take this. I'm so hurt. I need to leave. She has nowhere to go because the room's so small. And afterwards, she just kicks me out. Of course, I walk back in just to check up on her. And she's really upset. Oh, it's you. You want your Pokemon healed? I say yes. She does it really slowly. I know it, I'm not wanted. I just leave her alone. And we made our way back to the forest. I found this maze to be this long single corridor. And there's some bug boys blocking the way. But every time you beat them, they walk you all the way back. Happened twice now. Except for this last one, who at least brings you forward. But he's scared to talk to women. And we go all the way back again. Move forward to find Erica. She was the girl the boy was scared to talk to. And we try to get her number. Which gives me a more sinister solution. She is everyone and no one at the same time. She is all girls and none of them. After that weird vision, I woke up to my AI girl. She said I was just standing there for a while, acting really weird. But finally, we cleared all the obstacles of the forest. But Gary comes back and he brings over his horde of women. They all block the entrance and we can't go forward. But it's okay. With this scientist, we found a shortcut. And it led us straight to this mystery man who was much too strong to deal with, and we were obviously taken out. But instead of going to the Pokemon Center, we were sent to Evil Oak. He said my real life is torture in its own and sends me back, weakening the opponent, and it made the fight much easier. Finally, we made our way through and made it to Pewter City. But there was more girls gawking at Gary. Over on the side, this guy in a big inconspicuous coat. He was just a little Meowth, one of my Team Rocket friends. We also found Jesse and James, apparently in their city to launch a big heist. We don't know what they were doing, but we went forward to the museum. Not much to see, just a regular rocket hanging around and Gary's sister. Our girlfriend, I guess, but I'm more interested in the gym, where there's this boy blocking the way, refusing to let me in. We started to get healed up. And although we were already known at Viridian, now we're at Pewter City, a whole new Nurse Joy. But she's already got a whole fan base around her. And as soon as I showed up, she was very upset. She's already heard about my mischief. I broke her poor sister's heart. All she wanted to do was hang out and have all my babies. I could just have her heal my Pokemon, but instead, I laid down the sauce. She's flustered. She's never had anyone talk to her like that. Undeniably with butterflies and blushing. You think you can just worm your way in with words? She says, alright, you want to win my heart? Fine. We'll play your game, and kicks everyone else out. And now, just me and her, sitting alone with all the lights off. She said the ambiance really complimented my small, pasty, sun-deprived biceps. She's fighting with herself, says she's not giving in easily, not after what I've done. She instead tries to find redemption for me, and literally whips out the Book of Mormon. Starts talking about how handsome Joseph Smith was. Out of nowhere, he crashes the date. They came forward to fight me, and stripped Nurse Joy away. We tried to hold our own, but we were not strong enough. In reality, we just fell asleep immediately after she started reading. She really wanted things to work out. She really thinks I'm handsome, but she knows now I don't care about no Nurse Joy. She corrals me all the way to the exit and kicks me out. Of course, I go back to check on her. The fan club is back. I try to smooth talk my way in again, but it wasn't working. She did heal my Pokemon though, begrudgingly at that, making a point to not bow. Whatever, I guess I don't need her now. We stepped back outside and spotted this pop-up restaurant. It was the Elite Four Lorelei who was the waitress. She said, welcome to Gravelers, home of Graveler's juice. Made from real Graveler, added with real gravel for genuine Graveler taste. But she whispered at me, please pretend to order something so I can take a break. I decided to go with her personal special and get the Lorelei juice. She doesn't like that I'm hitting on her because she's all sweaty and gross right now, but I guess it does describe me too. But the other customers overheard me and now they're demanding the juice. And once word got outside, everyone stormed in. Everyone was blocking the exit and I couldn't do anything. There was another one in the back, but as I was trying to go through, she stopped me. She said it's a fire exit, only for emergencies. I'm not allowed to use it, but I try again. And she stops me again. I try to talk her through, but she just shoos me away. There's nothing more to do but to go for it a fourth time. I get out of there, walking through the fire exit, and instead enter this long hallway. The building was not this big outside. It feels endless. Just keep going forever until I find this random tomato splotch. I hope it's a tomato, but I turn around because it's a dead end. We're just a little forward was a sitting Pikachu. I try to make my way back to the restaurant, but the door was sealed off. There's nowhere left to go, and the wall opened up. We went around the corner, found more of these red blotches until the end of the wall where it said Ash. I was a little scared, but we had nowhere else to go. And eventually found a clearing. And it was the one and only, the Mistress Misty herself. She says she was rolling around in berry juice and made a mess. After a little bit, my Pikachu exploded and there was this amalgamation of meat brought behind her. After a while, she just starts screaming my name. But we realized we were just asleep the whole time, right at the fire exit, and we were kicked out. But this lady stopped by, gave us a free sample of the new juice. I guess we ended up getting what we wanted. We tried to leave Pewter City, but this guy never lets us. Like the little sheep we are, he shoos us all the way to Brock's gym. And of course, I walk in, but I can't. If there's a sign that says, sorry, we're closed for remodeling. Please locate our assistant at the east side of the town. We go back all the way over. We let him know, and he takes us back all the way over. I don't know where he goes after, but this time the door is open. We get stopped by this guy, the president of Pewter's Chamber of Commerce. And before we go in the gym, he gives us the formal, full tour of the city. This is fully unskippable and essential for the plot. After a quick little conversation, walks us back all the way. Still don't know where he's going, but now we can finally enter Brock's gym, and it is way longer on the inside. The first fighter says we're still light years away from him. The little boy trains were no problem, but it really does feel like it. After some more stepping, we find another. Gives us a quick light year fact and forces me to beat him up again. This gym is never ending. How is this inside a building? There's light year facts that are scrolling on a screen, and even an astronaut Misty. I thought it would actually never end, but we finally find it. And there's no one there. Nothing except for an empty door. We walk through and get kicked out. Tell me Brock is still light years away. I need a spaceship to get to him, if anything. And runs away laughing in my face. But luckily, my AI girlfriend does remind me that there just so happens to be a convenient rocket inside the museum. I agree to her plan. She goes into stealth mode. We make it inside and actually find some other Team Rocket members. But that's no matter because we know what we must do. We install my girlfriend straight into the rocket, and away into space we go. Light years away is no problem for us. And we crash straight back into the gym. Apparently, there's a secret switch the whole time, and the end door opened to the real room. And Jigglypuff jumped into my arms, where we walk up and find Brock. We're too late. He's already been replaced. It's Tracy Sketchit, the guy in the anime that took his spot. The Boulder Badger's no more, and we have to wrestle him for redemption. He's got a full team of Smurgles. And it's really annoying because they all have Circle Throw. But luckily, my Jigglypuff was a pretty good tank, and she pulled through. He lists off all the regions. He says how much better of a sidekick he would be for Ash. Forget Brock. We'll just say he ran off with Professor Ivy. And he says, Ash, you can't just cling to one girl. It's bad for ratings. He knows why the Golden Trio must come back. She'll stay in that gym forever. when the fans forget her, but your story is interesting. You can go another 20 years. And he sent his last Smurgle to explode. Brock's body was bolted out. And that's the end. Unfortunately, this is just a beta, and that's the finale. Hopefully there will be more. But for now, that's it. Orange Misty finale.